basic definition of homelessness is when an individual does not have a home. Across Australia, 1 in 200 people are homeless on any given night. There are 3 main types. Primary homelessness is when a person sleeps rough or does not have any shelter, like sleeping on the streets. Secondary homelessness is when a person does not have a constant place to stay, like moving from couch to couch. Tertiary homelessness is when a person stays in low-quality housing below minimum standard, including overcrowded camps and illegal sites.
There are many different causes of homelessness, including substance abuse, domestic violence, and financial instability. Out of 116,427 homeless people surveyed in the census, 48% were female and the remaining 52 were male. Many of these individuals are Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Australians. Homelessness can happen to anybody, but the most common age bracket is people aged 25 to 34 years old. Once a person is homeless, they are associated with a stigma, where they are seen as dirty, drunk, and dysfunctional. It is extremely difficult for them to blend into society and be seen as equals, affecting them psychologically and discouraging them from rebuilding their lives.
Even though homelessness has existed for a very long time, it has only recently been more evident. In Australia, it started in the early days of colonisation, when Indigenous communities were forcibly removed from their homes. By the early 1970s, full-time jobs in Australia went through a major decrease and unemployment rates rose rapidly. Then in 1974, the Homeless Persons Assistance Act was introduced. This provided homeless people with beds, meals, a shower, and clean clothing. Then in 1985, the Supported Accommodation Assistance Program was established, and the state began to see homelessness as an issue that deserved national recognition. Today, SAP is a multi-million-dollar business dedicated to helping homeless people all over Australia. The 2016 census revealed that for every 10,000 Australians, there are 50 people living in Australia homeless.
So what's being done to help improve the current homelessness conditions? Many companies, organizations, government faculties, and volunteer networks are working to improve the current homelessness rates through things such as inclusionary zoning, which is an affordable housing tool that encourages residential developments to lower the price of a housing unit to match the moderate income of a homeless person. This provides opportunities for low-income dwellers to afford a roof over their heads. If inclusionary zoning had been in place before 2016, 2,400 more properties would have been available for people on the house waiting list. 15% of property development in South Australia, 2% in New South Wales, and 20% in the Australian Capital Territory are included in the Affordable Housing Plan.
Research suggests that people who are homeless are more likely to have experienced childhood trauma, dropped out of school, suffered from mental illness, or landed in state care. More than 50% of children leave state care after they reach the age of 18, then end up homeless within 1 to 2 years. The government should establish a housing guarantee whereby each person leaving state care should get financial support for services and housing.
Some organizations volunteer services that involve the community, including the Salvation Army, who respond to people in their times of need, offering financial assistance, accommodation, and counseling. Vinnies, who volunteer to reach out to those who are vulnerable in our community, making the prices of everyday items affordable, and Mission Australia, which provides all kinds of support for homeless people such as family and children's services, youth services, employment training, and rehabilitation services for those suffering from substance abuse.
So, what are the small ways you can help? Many homeless shelters are open to donations that will help fund new services available to homeless people. Homeless shelters offer open days where you can volunteer to offer support and listen to the stories of homeless people.